Greetings, loved ones. Today we're going to talk about how to know the signs of elderly abuse. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You never know, just by doing so, you could save a life. So we're going to talk about elder abuse, know the signs. When most people get older, they must rely more on others to help take care of themselves. And that brings a greater chance that someone will mistreat them or take advantage of them. That is called elder abuse. Elder abuse is when someone harms or neglects a person aged 60 or older, and it can happen to anyone. It can come from a caregiver, a family member, or a neighbor. It can take place in the older person's home, the home of a relative, or even in an assisted living or nursing facility. Older people living with abuse may be afraid or embarrassed to talk about it, but if you keep your eyes open and know what to look for, you can help make sure that your friends and loved ones stay safe. So let's talk about the types of elder abuse. It can happen in different ways. Physical abuse is any action that causes injury or bodily harm. It can include hitting and shoving, kicking or burning an older person, tying them to a bed or a wheelchair, locking them in a room, or giving them drugs their doctor has not prescribed. Often this kind of abuse shows up as visible injuries, but there may be other signals, including things like unexplained burns, cuts, bruises, and bleeding, sprained and broken bones, injuries that happen over and over and over and over, or the person doesn't want to see a doctor about their wounds. Sexual abuse is when an older person is forced to have sexual contact with another person against their will. It can range from making the person watch pornography or taking off their clothes to inappropriate touching and even rape. There may be physical signs as well as those you can't see, and they include torn or bloody clothes, especially underwear, sexually transmitted diseases, bruises, especially on both sides of the body or around the breasts or genitals. There can be bleeding from the vagina or from the bottom. Then there's psychological abuse, and that is any action that hurts a person emotionally. And it can happen when someone threatens them, yells at them, calls them names or talks down to them, ignores them over and over, controls what they do, who they see, and where they go. So watch for signs of this kind of abuse in your loved one's actions or their relationships with you and or others. They might act withdrawn or frightened. They might have changes in their behavior that you just can't explain. They might rock back and forth and suck or mumble to themselves. They could be depressed, confused, or lose interest in things that they previously enjoyed, and they might have trouble sleeping. And then there's financial abuse. This is when an older person's money or property are threatened. Someone might use their credit cards or bank accounts without their permission. They might forge signatures or force them to change a legal document like a will or power of attorney. It can also include charging too much for home repair or medical care, or billing for a service that they never received. People or groups who ask for donations or fake charities are also doing this, and signs that this is happening may include things like withdrawals from bank accounts that your loved one can't explain, a new friend who may be taking financial advantage of them, legal documents that have changed or disappeared, missing financial statements, unpaid bills and utilities that are shut off or there are threats of eviction, and signatures that seem to be forged. Then there's neglect, and neglect happens when caregivers don't tend to an older person's needs. It can mean not giving them enough food or water, clothing, housing, and medications, or not helping them bathe, dress, or pay bills. Abandoning the person completely is also a type of abuse. And sometimes caregivers know they are neglecting the person, but others might not know that they're doing anything wrong. If an older person isn't getting the care they need, you may notice these signs. They are messy or unclean. They might have dirty clothes, unkempt hair, or even skin rashes. They lose weight suddenly or aren't hungry anymore. They have bed sores. There are missing or broken dentures and eyeglasses, hearing aids, or walkers. So what can you do? There's a lot that you can do. If you see any of these signs in a loved one, friend, or neighbor, speak up right away. It could save the person's life. There are groups that can step in to help older people who are in danger. So first, try talking privately with the person you suspect is in trouble. You can start by saying you think something is wrong and you want to help. Then if they don't answer your questions, it's possible they are being abused. If they tell you someone's hurting them or you suspect they are in immediate danger, call 911. If the problem isn't urgent, contact Adult Protection Services in the state where you live. You don't need proof of the abuse to make the call. The agency will send someone to the person's home to check out the report and, if necessary, take steps to make sure that they are safe. There are also national, state, and local agencies that can help older people with emotional, legal, and financial problems. According to the WHO, World Health Organization, 1 in 6 seniors above 60 years of age will experience abuse. The question is not if you will encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. You are called. We are all called to be champions for justice. And those who suffer violence, they need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will reach out and give them the help they need before it is too late. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You could save a life. If you're a victim of violence, listen to me. You are valued, you are loved, you are intelligent. God does not want you to suffer violence. He wants you to live free from violence in peace and tranquility. There is a way out. It is not your fault. Abuse is not love, and you are not alone. If you're a victim of violence, reach out to somebody today. And if you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. And if you know of a senior suffering violence, tell the authorities. In our next episode, we will talk about the different types of elderly abuse in more depth. Until then, God bless you.